verse of our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says the yogin who has experience knows that the small beginnings are of greatest importance and have to be cherished and allowed with great patience to develop. With always our love and blessing, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 4, Canto 2, The Growth of the Flame. Intense philosophies pointed earth to heaven. Sculpture and painting concentrated sense upon an inner vision's motionless verge, the architecture of the infinite discovered here its inward musing shapes, captured into wide breadths of soaring stone. Music brought down celestial yearnings. Song held the merged heart, absorbed in rapturous depths. The world interpreting moments of the dance molded idea and mood to a rhythmic sway. Darshan Day Messages, 15th August 1953, Sri Aurobindo's birthday.
यौवमतिथिं नरः सदायन्तारं धीनामुषिजं च पाठताम् अध्वराणामचेतनं जातवेदसं प्रशंसन्ति नमसा
Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, there is one thing everybody should remember, that everything should be done from the point of view of yoga, of sadhana, of growing into a divine life in the mother's consciousness. to insist upon one's own mind and its ideas, to allow oneself to be governed by one's own vital feelings and reactions should not be the rule of life here. One has to stand back from these, to be detached, to get in their place the true knowledge from above, the true feelings from the psychic within. This cannot be done if the mind and vital do not surrender, if they do not renounce their attachment to their own ignorance, which they call truth, right, justice. All the trouble rises from that. If that were overcome, the true basis of life, of work, of harmony, of all in the union with the divine, would more and more replace the trouble and difficulty of the present. Words of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, taken from the compilations of our Lord Sri Aurobindo, Book on India. Topic: The Hour of God, page 46. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, there are moments when the Spirit moves among men and the breath of the Lord is abroad upon the waters of our being. There are others when it retires and men are left to act in the strength or the weakness of their own egoism. The first are periods when even a little effort produces great results and changes destiny. The second are spaces of time when much labor goes to the making of a little result. It is true that the latter may prepare the former, maybe the little smoke of sacrifice going up to heaven, which calls down the rain of God's bounty. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, unhappy is the man or the nation which, when the divine moment arrives, is found sleeping or unprepared to use it, because the lamp has not been kept trimmed for the welcome, and the ears are sealed to the call. But thrice woe to them who are strong and ready, yet waste the force or misuse the moment. For them is irreparable loss or a great destruction. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, in the hour of God, cleanse thy soul of all self-deceit and hypocrisy, and vain self-flattering, that thou mayst look straight into thy spirit, and hear that which summons it. All insincerity of nature, once thy defense against the eye of the Master, and the light of the ideal becomes now a gap in thy armor and invites the blow. Even if thou conquer for the moment, it is the worse for thee, for the blow shall come afterwards and cast thee down in the midst of thy triumph. But being pure, cast aside all fear, For the hour is often terrible, a fire and a whirlwind, and a tempest and a treading of the winepress of the wrath of God. But he who can stand up in it on the truth of his purpose is he who shall stand. Even though he fall, he shall rise again. Even though seem to pass on the wings of the wind, he shall return. Nor let worldly prudence whisper too closely in thy ear, for it is the hour of the unexpected. Next subtopic, Purna Yoga, the entire purpose of yoga, integral yoga. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, our aim must be to be perfect as God in His being, and bliss is perfect, pure as He is pure, blissful as He is blissful, and when we are ourselves in Purna Yoga, to bring all mankind to the same divine perfection. It does not matter if, for the present, we fall short of our aim, so long as we give ourselves wholeheartedly to the attempt, and by living constantly in it, and for it move forward even 2 inches upon the road, even that will help to lead humanity out of struggle and twilight in which it now dwells into the luminous joy which God intends for us. But whatever our immediate success, our unvarying aim must be to perform the whole journey and not lie down content in any wayside stage, and not lie down content in any wayside stage or imperfect resting place. Man cannot, by his own effort, make himself more than man. The mental being cannot, by his own unaided force, change himself into a supramental spirit. A descent of the divine nature can alone divinize the human receptacle. If the supramental power is allowed by man's discerning assent and vigilant surrender to act according to its own profound and subtle insight and flexible potency, it will bring about, slowly or swiftly, a divine transformation of our fallen and imperfect nature. Self-surrender, says our Lord, self-surrender to the Divine and Infinite Mother, however difficult, remains our effective means and our sole abiding refuge. Self-surrender to her means that our nature must be an instrument in her hands, the soul a child in the arms of the Divine Mother. The change that is effected by the transition from mind to supermind is not only a revolution in knowledge or in power for knowledge. If it is to be complete and stable, it must be a divine transmutation of our will too, our emotions, our sensations, all our power of life and its forces, in the end, even of the very substance and functioning of our body. Then only can it be said that the supermind is here upon earth, rooted in its very earth substance and embodied in the new race of divinized creatures. Next subtopic, the divine Superman. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, thy aim is to become thyself, and the nature of man is to transcend himself. This is indeed his nature, and that is indeed the divine aim of his self-transcending. What then is the self that thou hast to transcend? And what is the self that thou hast to become? That which thou hast to transcend is the self that thou appearest to be, and that is man as thou knowest him, the apparent Purusha. And what is this man? He is a mental being enslaved to life and matter, and where he is not enslaved to life and matter, he is the slave of his mind. But this is a great and heavy servitude. For to be the slave of mind is to be the slave of the false, the limited, and the apparent. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says the self that thou hast to become is that self that thou art within, behind the veil of mind and life and matter. It is to be the spiritual, the divine, the Superman, the real Purusha. For that which is above the mental being is the Superman. It is to be the master of thy mind, thy life, and thy body. It is to be a king over nature, of whom thou art now the tool, lifted above her, who now has thee under her feet. It is to be free and not a slave, to be one and not divided, to be immortal and not obscured by death, to be full of light and not darkened, to be full of bliss and not the sport of grief and suffering, to be lifted into power, not cast down into weakness. It is to live in the infinite and possess the finite. It is to live in God and be one with Him in His being. To become thyself is to be this and all that flows from it. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, arise, transcend thyself, become thyself. Thou art man, and the whole nature of man is to become more than himself. He was the man animal. He has become more than the animal man. He is the thinker, the craftsman, the seeker after beauty. He shall be more than the thinker. He shall be the seer of knowledge. He shall be more than the craftsman. He shall be the creator and master of his creation. He shall be more than the seeker of beauty, for he shall enjoy all beauty and all delight. Physical he seeks for this immortal substance. Vital he seeks after immortal life and the infinite power of his being. Mental and partial in knowledge, he seeks after the whole light and the utter vision. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, to possess these is to become the Superman, for he is to rise out of the mind into the supermind. Call it the divine mind or knowledge or the supermind. It is the power and light of the divine will and the divine consciousness. By the supermind, the Spirit saw and created himself in the worlds. By that, he lives in them and governs them. By that, he is Swaraj Samrat, the self-ruler and all-ruler. Superman is supermind. Supermind is Superman. Therefore, to rise beyond mind is the condition. To be the Superman is to live the divine life, To be a god, for the gods are the powers of God. Be a power of God in humanity. To live in the divine being and let the consciousness and bliss, the will and knowledge of the Spirit possess thee and play with thee and through thee. This is the meaning. This is the transfiguration of thyself on the mountain. It is to discover God as thyself and reveal Him to thyself in all things. Live in His being, shine with His light, act with His power, rejoice with His bliss. Be that fire, that sun, and that ocean. Be that joy and that greatness and that beauty.